Oh. Okay, so decided to do another tips and tactics video here. I'll be filming this over a couple days because there's so many different parts to this game. Um, Eldervale is one. Is this a very volume a little bit there? This game has very low exposure currently, almost no reviews. In fact, I've only seen one streamer actually stream this game. As far as I did a quick check. Eldervale is first-person survival horror. You play the role of this girl. You see her right there, and you know, it's got some typical features here. What I like is this design, kind of like late '90s, early 2000s style here on purpose. You know, it almost feels like a PS2 game in some respects, the way that it's laid out. But the basics are that there's some mystery around your family's disappearance, and they used to own this special school for troubled kids called Eldervale, and it has this whole creepy past, etc., 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 etc. So it's typical first-person psychological horror. I like that they go with a sort of home for children instead of the typical asylum. Oh! Like, I'm not scared of that. So I like how they did a little different angle there, but it's creepy big building. You can see it looming in the background here in the opening. So I'm quite far in the game as I'm starting this video here. Finding a way around Eldervale, there's no reason for me to do a walkthrough of this. Like I said, I don't like to do walkthroughs, and there's already someone who did one if you want to see the whole. It's like 3 hours long. You don't need to see all that. All the stuff like the creepy characters and things, you'll learn all that as you're going through it. But one of the components about this that makes it kind of unique, well, there's two main things I'd say. So yeah, there's a story to figure out and lots of clues and things like that. That's typical. You'll find notes that explain things, and I won't even get into that. What makes Eldervale a little bit different is, well, there's two features. So one, it throws a little more puzzle elements into it than you see with the typical first-person survival horror. Most games like that are you're playing a story, essentially, which is what you're doing here. But it inserts these puzzles. In addition to that, there are also these, you have a number of times throughout the game where you can purchase healing kits and bullets for your gun and matches that light these candles and things that have a purpose in the game. And that was a little different too. Most first-person survival horror, you usually just have basic items you have to find around to get into doors and keys and stuff. But this game gives you implements. So you have this melee weapon you can use. It's this big like metal pipe with random spikes and stuff on. Like, where'd you get that thing, girl? So that's kind of unique there. I kind of liked that, but the puzzle element is one of the big things about this game, and it's definitely not the most challenging game I played like that. And this is a classic thing in some of these games you see going back to the era of Seventh Guest, which is probably the most legendary of the early PC first-person horror games. But that was all puzzle-based. I mean, there was a story, but it was all puzzle, really. Eldervale mixes typical first-person horror storyline development with this action aspect, but then there's the puzzles. So what should we do? I decided the best thing to do for the video for this game, as opposed to walkthroughs, which again I don't like to do at all, is we are going to do some this is another one of these tips and tactics videos, and I'm going to show you how to beat the puzzle. So if you're trapped in any of the puzzles on these games, you can't figure them out, I want to show you how to do them. Now, again, I'm filming this at different times, so when I'm first starting this video right here, when I'm piecing it together later, I actually haven't completed the game yet. I'm almost there. So the thing about the game is once you're already in it, let me just get it loaded up here. Once you're already in the game, you've made it quite a distance in it. You can access any other location you've been to in the Eldervale mansion here, or facility, whatever you want to say. If you want. You really have a reason to do that, you have to find stuff later. So I'm quite far in the game at this point. What I'm going to do is, you can see she has stuff like a flashlight, you'll get this stuff, melee weapon. Look at that thing! What the hell? Should I get you with this? What is this thing she has? Where did she get this weapon? Look at that! This is a horrifying thing. John! Get ya! Anyway, you got that. She also has a gun. Pull that gun out. I can't see it right now. Aim with it. Yeah, give me that gun. So you'll get that later. Flashlight's something you use. You got to point it around. Anyway, those are things you'll get. We don't care right now because these aren't things you even have when you start out. So you'll eventually get maps, and this is the main floor here. And you can see when you start the game that things are highlighted whenever you're in a room there. As you can see that room in the lower right there is glowing red. That's how you know where you are. So as you can see, so as you're starting this game out, you're not going to see all these red arrows that indicates doors you can go into because you haven't accessed them yet. So again, I'm far in the game. I'm just going to go through and show you the main puzzles and how you can complete them in case you're stuck. So let's go to the first puzzle right now. I will move over there and then we'll show you what that's about. Okay, I gotta remember what door am I looking at here? Okay, there's my. These are your save points, by the way, since I'm standing next to one. Save points are this photograph of you with your parents, and you just click on that using E, and you can see a little hand will appear when you can activate stuff. So we don't care about the basic controls. You'll get all that stuff very fast. It eases you into pretty good. Okay, so okay, the door to the right there is what I want. Da-da-da. He's carrying that melee weapon with one hand. That's pretty impressive because it's got away like 20 pounds. Yeah! Okay, let's see. All right, I gotta remember where I am there. Okay. Go over here. So, again, I'm far in the game. When you start the game out, this is where you enter. Welcome! You'll enter here, and there'll be things, you know, you'll look around and you'll find some stuff over here and check it out. And, oh, public notice. There's various things like that that piece together the story for you as you would expect. So, Delaney Institution. Here we are, the institution for troubled kids, troubled children. Proper terminology. All right, so here we are at the opening. I'm not gonna go through story and stuff. Again, this is not what we're caring about here. We care about how to beat those dang puzzles. All right, so let's move on to the first puzzle in the game, which is not too long after you start it, and it is the clock puzzle. Alright, here we go. So I'm still in the entryway here. Now I'm going to show you puzzle 1. Again, I'm already way through the game, so doors and stuff are going to be already open to me. And by the way, when the game does this and you see those sort of weird transitions where it's almost like you're watching a movie, that usually means something's going to be introduced. At this point in this game, I'm going to be probably looking at something here, but I'm not going to show you what it is yet. Well, actually, I'm not going to show you at all. Okay, so here's candles you light throughout the game and stuff like that. You know. At any rate, so here's your first puzzle. When you first come here, this door that I'm looking at right now is actually not open. And you're going to be like, okay, how do I get in there? So you got this blinking clock here, and you're going to find clues around here, like this one, that talk about the digital clock and the antique clock that used to be in this room. Okay, find it in classroom 102. So you already know that this clock has something to do with opening that door. So let's see now how you actually do this. So I'm going to show you all the pieces of it here. You'll find room 101 there. There's other things going on here. That candle isn't lit originally. Again, this is just stuff that I'm showing you. So eventually you'll get up to room 102. And you'll get in here. Put my flashlight on so you can see what's going on here. See the back wall there. You'll get this stuff. So you'll light those candles and things. So when you get in here, there's a guy you'll talk to there. But once you get up here, you'll see that the clock, the antique clock, is back there. And you will come over here. And here is your clue for how to beat this puzzle. Time is key. Alright, so pretty. It's figurative yet literal. Wow. By the way, that's how you properly use literal. Okay, I'm sick of people saying, literally, I'm literally peeing my pants. If you actually aren't, it doesn't make sense to say that. Please stop it. You say, I'm figuratively peeing my pants is what you mean when you say that. It's called hyperbole. Gosh, people. At any rate, so obviously time is key is not just figurative here. It is literal because you got to figure out something with time to open that door which is not open at first. Old time becomes new again. Okay, so obviously that's saying you got to do something with this old clock and the digital one in that room to open the door. So what do we do here? Now I'm going to, with the flashlight, I can kind of zoom in here. So we do that. Let's see here. Whoops. Okay, time is key. 24H, which means 24 hour. The circle there. I don't know why that's there. I guess so you know it's a face of a clock or something. I don't know. But 24 hour is your big clue there. So when you first come here, if you're confused, you look at the clock, you say, okay, 24-hour, how does that work? Well, this clock is showing, you say, oh, okay, the clock has stopped 5 minutes from midday or midnight. So some of the things you look at will give you further clues there. So that means the answer to this puzzle must be I have to type in the time into that digital clock, old time becomes new, and it's either going to be 11:55 or since it's saying 24-hour, it's probably going to be 23:55, right? Add 12 to 11, there you go. So then you'll run back, okay, back to where you were. I like the graphics of this game. It's cool. You know, it feels older on purpose. That was the intent of the developer. And by the way, it's just one person that did all this. It's impressive. So again, the door is shut. So you go to this, you get close to it here. Now, I can't do it now because it's already activated, but when you have to activate stuff, you'll see an eye or you'll see a hand. And so when you come to this clock, you will see a hand, you hit E, and then it will bring up on the screen this digital clock, and you just input the number. I'll let you try it for yourself. You can put in 11:55, and if that doesn't work, maybe it's 23:55, actually. Right? It's going to be one of those. That is the answer to the first puzzle, folks. It is one of those two numbers. So you put it in there, the door opens, and then you go further throughout the game. Now, let's move on to our next puzzle. Okay, everyone, here is the next puzzle in the game. Yeah, lots of story you have gone through here, and in case you're curious, there are a couple times in the game you have to like find an object to access something. That's typical first-person survival horror. That's not a puzzle. There's just one point in the game, for example, where you have to heat up this piece of meat and then feed it to this dog to get this key. It's not a puzzle. Puzzles are things you got to think about and figure out, not just little items you got to locate and maybe think for a second about. I mean, it takes some thinking. That's what I'm looking at here. So there's a particular puzzle I thought was really cool in this game. It involves some like Frankenstein monster chemical interactions. So you can see, again, I'm far in this game. Don't forget, there's already things that are open to me. When you first come to this room here that leads to the park, you're going to see this bizarre creature attached to the door here and these things here. And you can't open the door. You can't swing. I mean, this is a cool melee weapon. Jerk it! But you can't kill it with that. And there's a save point here too. So you have to make this special chemical to actually kill that thing and have access to the park. And there'll be another puzzle out there, by the way. So, oh, this is something here. This is, again, I think this is cool. Here are these treat machines or these vending machines where you get these tokens throughout the game that you find that you can use to purchase this stuff, med kits and so on. At any rate, so at this point in the game, you'll have access to the stairwell whenever you are going to be trying to get into here. So, now, as you've been going through the game, there have been two little chemicals. This is 2F. We don't want to go there. We're going to go to 3F, right at the top here. So, at this point in the game, when you've gotten here, you all have probably collected 2 liquids so far. Okay, I'll talk about this when I get to it. And there's some things in this room you have to change and activate. There's this bizarre thing creating weird bees there, you know. So eventually you'll get to the chemistry lab on floor 3F, which is what I am on. You'll open that door there. You'll come in here. Here is the next puzzle, which is already completed by me. But here's how it works. So you will see 3 test tubes here, or these vials, whatever, on this workbench here when you come into this room. There's different things to look around. Let's see if this guy's still activated. Sometimes this game reactivates monsters after you've been to somewhere already. When you open this up, there's this one of these little mutated children in here. Let's see if he's there when I open it up now. I may smash him in the face. Oh, good. Let's smash him. I got hit a number of times. That's embarrassing. Usually I sort of kite around when I'm fighting them. Okay. Yeah, so I should technically heal now. I can't even see if I have any heal things. I don't want to waste them. But, yeah, so there's going to be an annoying heartbeat over this. It makes it scarier or something. Anyway, so you come in here, and you're going to see these 3 vials here. And you're going to find these pieces of paper scattered around here. There. Test results. Need less than 4 units of drain cleaner. 4 units of drain cleaner. Test results. Need more than 2 units of drain cleaner. More than 2, less than 4. That would be the number 3 for the drain cleaner. And as you can see, it is showing you that it's the green color here, and this is something you will have collected already in the game. Now, what's the next one? This is the thing here, chemical formula. Detergent drain cleaner equals red liquid. So, the red liquid, we already have, you probably collected it. If not, it's down on 1F in this bathroom. You'll find it. It's easy. You've already actually encountered that. So, anyway, you got your, again, so back to this. So you got your detergent and then your drain cleaner, you put them in here, and then the red liquid you will probably already have gathered. If not, you can run down and get it. There's nothing really stopping you from getting it. It's pretty easy. Okay, you'll find some other stuff here. Creepy picture of a chemist there. Okay, so you'll go up here, stairs here. Detergent. Unit numbers cannot be divided by 2. So we know the drain cleaner, it's 3 we need. Let's look again. Detergent unit numbers cannot be divided by 2. Detergent numbers cannot be divided by 2. Okay, need more than 3 units of detergent. So it can't be the number 2. Can't be divided by 2. So it's going to be 5, right? Because it can't be divided by 2, but as this one says here, need more than 3. 4 will be the next number after 3. 4 can be divided by 2, so it's got to be 5. So we're good there. We got 3 of the drain cleaner, 5 detergent, and then you got the red one. Okay. And when you open this, initially, this is where you're going to find the detergent hidden up here. You've already got the drain cleaner and probably the red liquid. If you didn't, you can go find, it will, the drain cleaner, it's unlikely you haven't encountered already because you're going to find it to pick up in the bathroom. The red liquid you may have missed. I actually did miss the red liquid at first. I don't remember why, but you'll see it's mentioned at some point that it's in the bathroom at 1F because the chemical formula is explained to you earlier in the game. So then you put them in here, and once you do that, you'll come over to this. Okay, let's see if it'll let me activate it still here. Light it up. Light it up. So you'll light up the fire there to heat up your chemical, and then there, huh? Oh yeah, so it won't let me activate it now because it's already been done. So you're going to click on this. So how I saw that little hand there, right? You'll be able to activate this, and then you can see it's right here. Am I missing it? No. So then this screen will come up showing you vials and then measurements of the 3 different liquids. So you know you got to put in 3 of the green, right? Whoops. 3 of the green. So you'll click on the plus or the minus if you do too many, as you see on the screen. It's not showing it to you right now. And you'll get 3 of the green, and then you'll go to the blue, and you do 5 of those. The red one, unless I have missed something somewhere in this game, they don't actually give you a clue with how to do that. Now, when you go to this is the closest thing I found to a clue. Detergent minus drain cleaner equals red liquid. Well, actually, hey, look, I'm doing this real time, folks. I just figured it out. If we're saying detergent minus drain cleaner equals red liquid, that means 5 minus 3. This is funny. I don't know how I missed this the last time. I just happened to randomly put in the number 2, which is the answer, and then the chemical was created. Now, I put in the number 1 at first because for some reason, I think I actually didn't miss that this is laying here and didn't even look at it. But, see, is there something here I'm going to activate that I forget? I don't know what else it is, but just a matchstick. Anyway, so, yeah, so it's 2 of the red. So, again, 3 green, 5 blue, 2 red. And when you do that, this purple chemical comes in here, and then once you've heated it up, as I've done there, you'll see it appear here. And that's the chemical that you will then use to destroy that weird growth on that door so that you can access the park. So this is the second puzzle in the game. If you hadn't collected the drain cleaner and red liquid, you have to do some running around to find it, but that's not really hard, and you probably already have collected them before you can get here. So at any rate, I like this puzzle. It's pretty cool, right? I like things like this. I would probably say the clock puzzle was maybe more difficult than this, but there's you can do a little trial and error with the red liquid there. Like, it's what I did actually. When I first did this, I put 1 in first, and then she actually gets harmed and makes this like gas that hurts you. And then I was like, okay, we'll try 2, and then that just happened to work. So anyway, that's how you do this one. It is 3, 5, 2, 3 green, 5 blue, 2 red. You get your purple liquid. Get back down to the plant. You put the liquid on it. It dies, and then the plant organic growth thing, and you go out to the park. So let's move on to the next puzzle, which is in the park. Okay, here we are in the park section of the game. That's pretty cool. Lots of cool things you're going to find here, but let's focus on the puzzle that is here and see how you solve this one. Okay, so this one's an easier one, I guess. I don't know, that is all pretty much the same level, I suppose, when I think about it. Honestly, I found the clock at the start of the game probably be the most difficult. I don't know why. I was like, actually, I can't tell time. But at any rate, so you'll eventually come to this point in the park here, and you'll see that there are 4 statues here. A little boy there, and she explained that, ooh, statue of a child, he seems to be frustrated. Young woman, concerned expression. Guy over here. Middle-aged man in a suit, looks like a teacher, and then you'll walk around the little thing there, and middle-aged woman, she looks like a psychiatrist, right? What exactly looks psychiatrist about her? I don't know. I guess. What about that? That looks 100% like a psychiatrist. I don't know why. I guess it does. Maybe. This guy here. He looks like a teacher. Yeah, I guess. You know, he's got a suit. Hey, that's a little offensive to businessmen. You know, maybe he's a businessman. Person, whatever. Okay, so what do you do here, right? So when you get here, and this is interesting, the game reactivated this for some reason. So there's this red light here because there's a gate that if you try to run down the ramp over there, let me just show you real quick. So, by the way, shift around, I mentioned that earlier, but you'll figure it out. You go, I'm going to go down here. Oh, there's a gate. I can't make it through that. So obviously this is a puzzle I have to solve to get into the gate there. But what the heck do you do? So the game, as you probably have already noticed, but I didn't mention it until now, highlights things that you can, you know, touch and pick up and stuff like this, right? So you're like, okay, okay. So we got one of 4 directions the kid can stand here. 100%, that's what the other ones are going to do. So how in the world do I figure this out? Okay, oh, they got a stone here. Let's see what it says. The little ones need love and wisdom. Guardians turn to methods and expertise. Instructors look for more efficient ways. The analyst faces the future. So, what the heck does that mean? Well, obviously you have to rotate these statues in some way to get the puzzle to complete and open that gate, and you'll see a green light when you've completed it. It's interesting this reset it. At any rate, so where's her thing? Oh man, her little button thing is in there. You can't access that this way. So what you have to do, I won't show you the whole thing, but I'm just going to show you the brief moments here. What you have to do is you run over here, and then you're going to, oops, sorry, back over here. I went the wrong way. I forgot I can't go that way. They do this a couple times in this part of the level here. You're going to see these boards you can walk across, okay? And then you'll go up there, okay? And then you can fall down there, and you can activate that one there. I'll show you how the whole thing, let me just show you how the whole thing works. And the light is back on. I'll show it to you. Okay, so run over here. Now I go back into the park here. So what could this clue possibly mean? Let's think about this, folks. The little ones need love and wisdom. All right, so obviously that's a reference to the little boy. So, needs love and wisdom. Let's think. I'm a parent. I know this answer, even though I only have one kid. I've seen it. So, younger kids tend to look up to their siblings for love and wisdom. That's a good thing. So, okay, the little one probably has to face the younger woman. Okay. Guardians turn to methods and expertise. So if we assume she's the guardian, this is obviously going in order, if we assume she's the guardian, where would she look for methods and expertise? Probably the teacher. Probably the teacher, right? So we should probably turn that one to the teacher. Instructors, that's the teacher. Look for more efficient ways. Okay, so what would be more efficient? I don't know if I call psychiatry more efficient, but obviously he's going to look towards a psychiatrist. So the pattern is already suggesting to us that you're going to turn each statue to face the one to its right. Okay, now, but what about the last one, right? Is that where is she going to face then the kid? The analyst faces the future. Is she going to face the kid? Let's see, and first move the other ones. All right. Oops. Okay, we got him facing that way. And you could technically figure out this puzzle yourself if you went through all the possible patterns, but since there's 4 and they have 4 potential positions themselves, it would take you a while to do it. Okay, she's facing that way, good. Especially because that psychiatrist or whatever she is over there. You would have to go the whole way around every time. Alright, so now to access her, we're going to have to go over there. Let's do it. Okay, you walk across this here. Oops. On a board. Oh, I'm going to fall. Okay, walk over there. Mine's up here. Okay. Yeah. Over here. Now, in some of the parts of this park, let's see if it does it again. No. In some of the parts of this park, you have boards like that will fall out. It's interesting that it reset the other stuff, but not that. So you go down here, and there are boards there I had to smash through. So this door should still be open. Yeah. So that door is actually locked when you come here, and that's why you have to come from the above. Oh, there she is. Okay, let's see now. Is it going to do it? You can hear it ching, 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 ching in the background. You'll run out here. Ah, green light! Green light! It means go! It means go! And I go! First, we're going to sprint! This! You're going to go, and you go down in there. There you go! Right? That's cool! So, I like that puzzle. So, that one's fairly easy. You can technically figure it out trial and error if you wanted to. It would take you a long time. But the clue that gives you is pretty straightforward. And once you see, oh, wait, I got to turn him to face her, it's probably going to be a square. You can figure it out without even understanding what those words mean. So, all right, that was a cool puzzle. Now let's go to what is actually, it's probably the hardest one in the game. It's a little bit later after this, so after this whole park part, you're going to some other things. Let's go to the next one, which is probably the most difficult puzzle in the entire game. Are you ready for it? Alright, here we go. This is, in my opinion, the most difficult puzzle in the whole game. By the way, I was just reviewing some of the earlier clips I've made of this so far. Sorry for a little echo in my voice. It's the room I'm in here for some reason. The microphone's picking it up. Probably just open the door next time. Whatever. I don't think you mind, all 2 of you watching this. Okay, so this puzzle is located on floor 2F. Okay, floor 2F. There's the map there for floor 2F, student's map. So, you'll have this door here that requires a green key. As you can see from my inventory in the right here, I have the green key. You will not have it initially, and then you'll eventually get it. So I still have one more key to grab there. I'm almost finished with the game, as I said, as I'm filming this. So, you got your green key there. You'll open this door to the library. Okay, and then we're going to see how this works. Oh, I'm surprised it's still locked. I opened it already. Alright, you go through here. There's some stuff to find in here, okay? Nothing we care about right now. Alright. Go in there. Library. Here we go. Now, is this ghost active here? Okay, it's not. So, there's this ghost that's in this room as you're playing. So I'll just warn you. When you first come in here, it's not here. You'll hear this whimpering and crying, and you'll see this really cool shadowy ghost that wanders out in the hall there before you come into this library. It's pretty cool. So that thing turns into this weird black cloud that, like, it hits you pretty hard when it comes in here. The candle kind of keeps it away, but it can snuff out the candle and you put it back on, light it again. So at any rate, this room is one of the primary components of this face puzzle, I guess we'll call it. That's what I'll title in the video or whatever. So you look in the library here, you'll find some things so you can check out. Like, here's a picture. Let me put the flash on, you can see some things better. Here's a picture of some of the people in Delaney Institute in 1993. It's dating where this game is supposed to be taking place, essentially in the 90s. That's cool. So you look around here. Let's see. We've got some faces here, too. Okay. Number 1. And if you click on these, the observant will say, essentially, what's already obvious. This is the headmaster. The number 1 is printed there. Okay, actually. Yeah, okay. So, number 1. Howard Barlow, headmaster. Okay, you go to the next one here. Dr. Rose Clark, head nurse. This is then, go over here. Number 3, Mark White, caretaker. 4, Ophelia Delaney. Okay, excellence in science. She's so smart. And you'll know who these characters are by this time, by the way. 5, Samantha Summers, excellence in art. So if you click on it again, it'll just say what's already there. I don't know why they have that option to look at them, because It's obvious. 6, Joshua Wilson, excellence in sports. 7, oh, it's obscure. We don't know who that is. 8, that, look at that kid's eyes. This is the one I was like, I'm legitimately creeped out by this boy, Colin Caulfield here. What has happened to his eyes? Okay, you go over here. Okay, we got 9, Dr. Helen Barlow. So, we have 9 pictures in total. You go over here, this is Howard Barlow again. We repeat, right? Are they married? So weird picture of a nurse. She got dreads or something. Not that she can, not that she can. I'm just saying. A bizarre picture for a nurse. She's kind of like, oh. All right. So you're like, all right, what do these faces mean? I don't see anything else in this room. There's nothing. You'll find one of the tokens on the shelf over here. There's nothing else in here. And you'll look around here. Like, okay, what's going on here? Come out in this part of the game here. Oh, I can't walk across that. I can get around through the doors or something. This part of the game may be loud. Like you over here, obviously you have to go through that door to get out there. But it's like, okay, listen, this is not that difficult to get over this. You got a chair. Step on the chair, and then step on the table, and then take the maybe 1-2 foot jump off of it. You'll be fine. You don't have to go the whole way around. Oh my gosh. So, you'll come over here and this door to the living quarters, which has blood on it. You will see that there is a keypad here. Now, since I've already done this, it's interesting that the game has reactivated some of the puzzles, but not all. Since I haven't completed it, I don't know if there's a reason for that yet. But this, obviously, because you got numbers 1 through 9, if you don't include 0, this clearly has something to do with the pictures in the room we were just in. So, what do? It hasn't given you any clues. So your first inclination might be like, okay, we'll just go 1 through 9, see what happens, right? That'd be tough. If it was a 9-digit passcode, it would take you years to go through every single digit. So you could technically figure out the code by going from number 1 up to number 9,999, provided it doesn't go past 10,000. Then you're in trouble. So we don't know how many numbers the code is. You can put in 1 through 9, not going to work. That's what I did at first. Just curious, because I hadn't gone through the rest of the rooms yet. So come in this room here. Let's see here. You got some stuff here. Oh, gosh. We've got the guy who owns the institution. That is a creepy portrait safe spot. Anytime you see a safe spot, you're like, okay, something's about to go down soon. And whenever you get to living quarters, you will see what it is. It's a cool homage to a horror film. Okay, so you can't access that way, so we have to get over through the door on this side here. That ghost isn't here now. This ghost is so annoying. It was cool though. Alright, so you go back over here, you look around, you're like, I was like, no, can't go that way. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, start there. Alright, you're like, boy, I don't know what to do with this puzzle. Oh, here we go! Here it is. So look around the room, you'll find some stuff here. Okay, the portraits on the walls only show the faces of those who are still bound to this place. We all came in contact with them, but only 4 were selected. Words tell numbers. Read the markings as a map to find their order. Obviously, as I said, and you'll figure this out yourself when you walk in there, those faces are the key to figuring out the numerical code on that door. So, what do? Let's look here. Ooh. There's something out there. I'm just going to close the door, just in case. Alright, so you come here, alright, let's see here. 9 depictions, 2 realms collide, 4 carried the seed, 7 below reside. Well, I want to guess that means that they're all dead or something, but what does this mean? 9 depictions, 2 realms collide, 4 carried the seed, 7 below reside. Alright, so that's pretty cryptic, doesn't really tell you much. And I sat there and thought about it for a little bit, right, until I really paid attention to the rest of it. It's one of those things where it's so obvious at first that you don't notice it because you're like thinking so hard about it, which makes this puzzle a little more tricky than you would expect. Alright, so at least for me, maybe I'm just dumb. Alright, so you look at this, you're like, okay, what do we got here? We got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that coincides with maybe numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that's all I need to put in there. A combination of those 4 numbers. you could sit there and trial and error, and maybe that way you figure it out. That's not too. It's 4 digits, but it's only 4 numbers. So that wouldn't take you too long to figure out, but that can't be the answer. Right? There's got to be something else here. So what are these circles? What's this? Well, this must be the candle. It's shimmering. That's the candle. So if that's the candle, okay, what are these circles? Let's see, 1, 3. Ah. All right, it's as it said in a little piece of paper here, right? Only 4 were selected. Aha. So that means the answer to that numerical code is 4 digits. Okay, technically, you could sit there and go through number, go through 00000 all the way up to 9999. Wait, 9999. I said too many zeros. Whatever, 4 nines. And you'd eventually get it. It would take you a long time to do that, but you can try it. So let's try to make it a little easier for ourselves. What does this coincide to then? What are these circles? So only 4 are selected. These circles indicate the other faces that don't have a Roman numeral next to them, which means, thus, this 1 is the first number in the code for that door. This is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth, which means the Roman numerals aren't the numerical answers. They correspond to the number on the picture on the wall in that other room. And that is the actual code put together in this order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, that's it. Let's just double check it. All right, let's go back. That's stupid. I can't walk across that. It's too hard. I don't want to walk over 1 chair. Uh-oh. You see that candle off? That usually means that damn thing's in here. There it is. That cloud there. Wait, that cloud. Let's see if it's going to come over here. Because I want to show you these pictures without having to worry about that stupid thing. Is it going to come? I think it. Here it is. It usually puts out the candle. You'll take off a little bit of damage if it gets close to you. Now wait for me. Oh, great. I'm out of matchsticks. It's really irritating. I'm trying to make a video here. Okay, I think it went away. Let's just double check here. I'm not too positive about that. Alright, it's gone anyway. Whatever. So that's the candle in the picture there, which means number 1. Boom. 4. 4. Oops. So this is number 2, right? 4, 2. Oops. 3. And then in the corner, this one, right? So that means the answer to the miracle code is 4, 2. It's that cloud again. 4, 2. You stupid cloud. I hate you so bad. Oh, I actually didn't look at it close up. It's pretty cool looking. Get away from me. Turn my flashlight on so it gets out of my face. I hate you. Get away from me. Would you? This is taking longer than it needs to because of the cloud. Can you please leave? Oh, look at this a little more closely. It's a pretty cool looking ghost. Ooh, it's like it makes you cough. Some doesn't smoke too much. Let's get out of here so it goes away. Alright, anyway, you saw what's going on there. I don't have to show that to you again. I don't waste time running around with the cloud here. So just follow these here, right? Turn on the flashlight. So number 4, 2, 7, 9. That is the answer to the code. So that was, I like that puzzle. It was a cool one here. It took me a little bit to figure it out because I wasn't paying attention. It's one of those things. It's like that Edgar Allan Poe story, The Purloined Letter. The obvious answer is the one you don't notice because you think it can't. It's something else. So this was a cool puzzle here. I like the cryptic writing there and stuff. All right, so that's a cool puzzle there. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, talk about a lack of continuity here. As you can see, I have a different shirt on. I no longer have a cold like I did the first couple of videos I made to put this together. and my hair is longer. Listen, people, I got a life. For those one of you watching this. So, at any rate, going through the various puzzles here in Eldervale, I've completed the game now in its current build, so I know what all the puzzles are, and I can show you the current one here that I want to show you in terms of the order you'll see in the game. Alright, so I should note that at this point I actually have all of the equipment. I got melee, handgun, I have this awesome machine gun there, shotgun, and so forth. I mean, the flashlight's the last thing. So I've got more equipment than you'll have now, but it doesn't matter for the puzzles anyway. Just noting in case I happen to get it through and you're like, wait, I didn't get that yet. You'll get it eventually. So currently, to show you where I am, as usual, the map highlights everything. So you can see that the red glowing area there at the bottom right, okay, you can see there's a little like square there, and that is the treat box, or sorry, the treat machine you can use to buy various things, SMG bullets for that, machine gun, shotgun shells, etc., etc. So, you know, you've gone through a couple of things when you get to this point and killed some more enemies and stuff. So, to the right of that, you will see you come into this room, and there is a piano in here. Now, when I go up to this now, I won't be able to actually use it. So, as soon as you come in here, you know there's going to be some sort of puzzle that involves the piano because you've got this little image here, this picture that's showing you the keys in the piano with the notes that each key corresponds to, not going with flats and sharps. So I play piano, by the way. And you know, you'll find these various things around here. So we don't care about that one there. This one over here. Okay, let's see. When you feel lost and confused, music helps you to remember. Anchor us to a time and place when it was all simple. The link between memory, emotion, and music is so strong, it might even bring back those who lost it all. Okay, obviously this is going to do something. Now, at this point in the game, when you come here, you will see that there's this creepy dog outside here, which is not here currently since I've already completed this. You will have seen him actually earlier in the game. You have to pick up an item from his dish, or near him. It may have been the dish, I forget, to be honest. So that dog is going to be used to tear some vine, these like weird, creepy intestinal vine type things that relate to the game's mythology, over to the left there where that light is. They're gone now. They beat this already. So you won't know what he's going to do or if that's even going to happen. But that's what happens is you're going to play a song and you're going to play a song, and then when the song is heard by the dog, you'll see a cinematic shot there where he gets up and clears those vines. So that's what the piano is for. So it will give you access to a different part of the game once you complete the puzzle. So you see this in here, you're like, what am I supposed to do? C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So first thing I should say about this puzzle is, to me, this is probably the most difficult one in the game, and I think it's primarily because I overthought the damn thing too much. I'm not trying to brag, but I've played piano since I was 13 years old, so I mean, gosh, it's been almost 2 decades of playing piano. In fact, I got this. What this is behind me here in my office, the Deaf Sparrow official office. I got a piano in there when I want to mess around. So what I'm saying is I know so much about how to play a piano that I like thought too hard about this puzzle. I was like, okay now. I mean, I know where middle C is. I know what all these things mean. I know sharps, flats, etc., etc. So I thought too hard about this. So it probably seemed harder to me than it would be to you. But, all right, you know you got to do something there, but you have no clue what it is. So you'll come out here. She has to duck down to go under this. And you'll go to the left here through these 2 doors. Okay. So just show you where I'm in the map there. Bottom you'll see there that's glowing. There's that. To my left is this, what do you call these dang things? I forget my English. I'm teaching Polish too much. I was thinking Polish, but this screen, yeah, this screen here separates this room, and it's a barrier. And then if you go to the right here, right to the right, you'll see there is a special room. Now, if I go, you actually won't be able to access this this door here, but that gives you access to the final level of the game and stuff like that, so I'll get back to that eventually. So you'll come into this room here, and you're like, okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. Tune of Memories. So you can turn your flashlight there and look at it here. Clearly, this is a 4-note puzzle. So Piano's a puzzle. You got to play these 4 notes to unlock it, and then the dog will get up because of the song for whatever reason and tear off those weird vine things that aren't there since I already did it. Okay, so there's the same thing you saw in the other room, you know, and obviously it's in the room to remind you of what key is what. So again, as a pianist myself, I'd be like, oh, okay, I don't need those letters there, buddy. I know what that means, and I can sight read, so I know exactly what these notes are immediately. So obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the order you got to play the notes in. It's quite simple. But again, since I played piano so long, I think I thought too hard about this. And one of the reasons for that is the devs provide you with lots of clues to figure this one out. You've got these keys here in this room. It was on the picture where the piano is. You see, it explains you got to press this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, and you've solved it, right? But of course, most people can't. Well, not most people, but lots of people can't read music, right? So you look at this like, oh God, what do these notes mean? Well, the classic trick with treble clef is the spaces between the lines. It's F-A-C-E. So since you would probably maybe know that the notes go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then repeats the whole way up the piano. You know, you count down from F. You just go down from F there. So, okay, so if that F is above middle C, that must mean the line below the F is an E. Space below that's a D. Oh, so this is a D, right? So it's just showing you the notes. I mean, it's quite simple. So I could have figured this out as soon as I saw it, but because the devs give you so many clues on how to beat this, I was like, oh man, I don't get it. Now, there's also a little trick to this too. Oops. A little trick to this where you see some symbols on the notes. Okay, so here's how it works. You look at this, you're like, all right, what do I do here? I've got the notes. I can't read music. Okay, we've got some like house type symbol. This one is filled in with an X. This one here is empty with an X, and by the way, that would actually mean these notes are played differently, but you just have to press them. So what is this? Okay, oh, what's this? So you have over here in this viewing room these 4 things. So if I press one, oh. Okay, now notice when she does that, let me go this one here. The light turns on in this speaker. So I look at that. Oh, it's the filled in one there. Let's see. Oh, that corresponds to the 3rd key I'm supposed to press to unlock this puzzle. Oh, what is that note? So what made me think too hard about this is if you can learn by ear, some people can learn music by ear, you could probably, especially if you have perfect pitch especially, you could probably figure out what these notes are as soon as you hear them. So what they are there for is so that you can see it corresponds. Oh, it keeps playing too, by the way. Corresponds to that. You're like, oh, okay. So that one's there. That corresponds to this. Which note is that? It's B, by the way. The B above the A right there. So if you know the notes, it's pretty easy. But I thought so hard about this. I was like, wait a minute. Am I supposed to like play these in order and get it to sound natural or something? I tried this a number of times, like nothing was working. I'm like, man, what do? Nothing's happening. So all you're supposed to do, right, you look at this, which one's lighting? Oh, this one over here. Oh, that's the circle there. Okay. That's just so it's clear to you what notes you have to press so you can figure it out. And the reason he has sounds here is he probably assumed that most people can't read the actual sheet music there. So thus, you have to kind of go by ear. If you're like, okay, this one sounds like this. Let me go back to the piano now. And then which one was that? So if you look at it, though, it's quite simple. Let me just read it for you. So again, treble clef, the spaces between the lines and the main thing there is F-A-C-E. So you go backwards. So if F is on that line there, and that will be F above middle C. So middle C is where you start in piano all the time in terms of your spacing. F is right there. So if I go down 2 notes, because the line under the F is an E, and then the space under that's a D. So that's D. Okay, next one. Let's see. So, you know, it's kind of hard to zoom in on them. Oops, I don't want that. I'll get her as close as possible. All right, where is that one at? Oh, that one is an F. And then this one's a B, and then A. So all it is D, F, B, A. You go from that D to that F, to the B up here, to the A there. That's it. It's quite simple, and these are just here so that you can hear what the sound is. Okay, D, F, B. That's simple. Okay, so that's all it is. Where's this one at, by the way? This, oh yes, over here. Yeah, so again, you can look at all these. They have their symbol on there. I'll open one there. Okay, it's simple. So that's all you do. So then you go back to the piano and you go through this door here, living quarters again, just like you did before. Go under this, come up, and then when you come over here, you'll be able to access the piano, which I can't do because I finished it. And then for reference, this is here in case you're like, okay, wait, just to remind you what key is what. If you haven't played piano, you wouldn't know. So that's it. You play that, and then it goes to cinematic where she begins to play the song. You go out here, and it will show you the dog moving around, and then he goes and clears off that door over there. So that's this puzzle here. Again, it's actually quite easy once you understand how it works, and I just think as a trained pianist, I thought too hard about it. I was like, oh, am I supposed to do this in this room? So there's some playing around there, and I suppose that's probably intentional on the devs part too, to make you think you have to do something with the sounds in that one room, and then something different in here maybe. But that's all it is. You just got to play those 4 notes in succession, and then it goes into the cinematics. So that's it for this puzzle here. Now the next one I want to move on to here is a tricky one, but really the reason it's tricky is because the primary reason it's tricky is because there's 2 enemies in the room that can kill you. So it's almost impossible to dodge them and get the clues. You have to kill them. And you get unlocks for killing certain amounts of enemies anyway. So we'll go to the next one, which is this weird one that involves these doors and lights above the doors to access a further part of the game. So let's move on to the door light puzzle, I'll call it. This is a piano puzzle. Let's move on to the door light puzzle now. Okay, here we go with the next puzzle. There are 2 more after this in the current build of the game. So this is the third to last here. I like to call this the door light puzzle. I don't know what to call it. So you got this exit here, which I can access now, but you won't be able to access it. So, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Where is this? Okay, this is the basement level, B1, the maintenance level map. You can see in the red there where it's lit up. And I'll show you that patient part actually is coming next. So the 2 doors there I can access easily because I've been through this already. So what do you got to do? Well, at this point in the game, before this exit even opens, you're going to want to get through this door here, but it's going to be locked. Currently, it's not because I beat this already. So what do you do? Well, after you look around a lot here, get used to this game and where you're supposed to be, you'll make your way over here. I'll see you later there. Oh, again, this is like, okay, just climb over it. This isn't that hard. You've been killing these weird, like, mutated freaks throughout the game with a machine gun and shotgun. I'm pretty sure you can handle walking over some hospital beds or crawling under them, whatever you fancy. Anyway, so to the left here is this emergency ward. Okay, you'll go through here. Now, when I walk in here now, I don't got to worry about anything. When you first come in here, there are these 2 the weird mutated zombie nurse things with glowing eyes that are moving around the room. So the key to beating this puzzle, it involves that door. So let me get back to this. I'm just mentioning that those girls are there for now, those nurses. So when you come back here, you can see above the door you want to get into that there are a series of 6 unlit lights. Okay, so when you go back in here, so you can go back and forth here, you go back into the emergency ward, and you start to look around, you're going to find that there are these beds, and then there are notes next to each bed. Okay, quite simple. So whenever you begin to play around, well, so first off, when you get into this room, you got those 2 nurses to contend with. Because there's 2 of them that are moving around, it's impossible to run in here and look at one of these real quick and then get the heck out, because you got 2 of them. So since you get unlocks for killing enemies anyways, just blast these 2, get them the heck out of here. You'll have the machine gun by this point, SMG. you can use that. You can try to get them to beat down if you want to, but it's up to you. Just get them out of the way. It makes it a lot easier because this one's kind of tricky. So as you go through it, you'll see that there are these patient charts with dates and gender, blood type, and so forth, cause of admittance, okay, so status, blah, 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 blah. So now if you press this, okay, well, that light's on there. What does that mean? Okay, and go back over here where the door is, and you'll see, oh, there's a green light that is lit there. Now again, when I come up here, I already got the door open. You won't have the door open. So, oh, obviously, that's good light. I want that one on. So you go back over here, and let's go with another one real quick. If I go over here, look at this. Now, we got another one here. So obviously these little buttons turn on the lights. That's clear. But so obviously then from that, obviously I always say obvious these videos. Obviously the obvious is obviously. Yeah, cut that out. It's too much repetition. So clearly, it's a thesaurus in this. Clearly, something on these patient charts is a clue to which one of these you're supposed to press. You can't just arbitrarily go around and press them. So you got dates, you got genders. What the heck do you do here, right? So if I look at this one here, female, and then I click that button, go through the door here. Oops, wrong direction there. You'll come running around here. Okay, now there's a red light on. Okay, red probably is bad. Probably not good. So, now, what made that one red? Okay, let's look at that chart again. Okay, so female, blood type A minus, blood trauma to head, MC yes, 1968. Oh boy, a lot. This is why I said you gotta waste those two nurses because you spend so much time trying to think about what's going on here that you'll forget where they are and they'll come around the corner. Okay, male, blood type B, 1977, dog bites, stable. Man, what we got going on here? So that's a green light there. Okay, where's this? What's over here? Gunshot to chest, deceased, male. Okay, B1, blood type. Let's click that one. And we'll go over here. And we'll hang a right again, and we'll keep on running, and we'll get to this. Oh, that's a green light. So there must be something linking those right there. So something that's not on the one that we clicked over here. This is the red light one. Let's see. Oh, So I know I probably shouldn't click that one. Now let's go back over to this. Oh, I'll go up here to the directly to the side here. There's another one. Let's look at this one. Male, AB, 1980, laceration of left leg, stable. So there's lots of potential clues there. And this one was tricky, and kind of like the piano one, I probably thought too hard about it. Green light. Oh, what is linking all of these? Well, should have been kind of obvious by now. It's the fact that they're all male. So when you go through this, you go to the other ones here. There's one over here. Oh, no. Yeah, the nurses wander around here, by the way. So you got these screens here, and you got another one here. Female, AB, negative, etc., etc. So you'll think of the dates, and maybe I have to click them in some order, right? Like maybe I have to go with, you know, the earliest dated one first. Maybe it has something to do with the blood types and the alphabet. You know, what letter comes first, what letter combination should come second, and no, it obviously is related directly to just their gender. So it was pretty much the most obvious thing on there. But it's one of those things where you sit here and you think hard about it. You're like, oh man, because Des did a good job with this one. I really thought hard about this one because there are so many possible solutions to it, right? I mean, there's only one solution, but I mean, there's so many possibilities onto what it could be. Is it blood type? Is it the gender? Is it the birth? So it ends up being the most obvious thing. So that's a female there. If we go to this one here that I clicked earlier, you'll see that's female too. If I go to this one here, we'll see it's female. So you want to not click the female ones. That's all it is. there are 3 female, 3 male. Don't click on the girls. When you click on the girls and you come out here, you'll see a red one there, and that stops it, and you won't open the door then. So that's all it is. It's quite simple once you figure it out, but I did really enjoy this one because, oops, wrong one, because the devs made it tricky just by oversaturating you with information, right? Because you have to sit here and think of all this stuff, cause of the minutes, maybe it's, are they dead or not, maybe it's something like that. There's lots of possibilities, but it's all just gender in this one. So you simply click on the ones that are male and don't click on the ones that are female, and the door will open. So that's it for this puzzle here. This one was tricky because of the 2 killer nurses that are in the room, as well as the abundance of information the devs provide to get you to think. So I really enjoyed this one. All right, let's move on to the next one now. It's this arrow puzzle, which is not too long after this. Okay, so here we are for the next puzzle, which is not too long after the door light puzzle. I just refer to this one as the arrow puzzle because you guys touch some arrows. Now, it's a little bit after this, actually, but I thought this was a really cool part of the game. This is where you get the shotgun. You see this unknown individual here with rotting legs who obviously blew their own brains out based on the gap in the top there. So that's pretty cool. But after you search around here, eventually you'll come up here, and you got a crazy nurse kill up here. It comes stalking out of the darkness. That's pretty cool. Then you'll come into this next area, and you'll move around here, and there it is. So this is the next puzzle. Now, you're going to see that I just decided not to kill this guy when I came through here originally. I just thought it was kind of cool, this big lurking monstrosity that throws things, this like sort of weird fire stuff at you. So there's a cell over there where there's a child that you have to save, and this gives you an indication there. So the child is in cell 104. If you save him, you get a special unlock. You don't have to, actually, but it's part of the game if you want to get some unlocks. So what you have to do, as it says here, so they installed a simple dialogue to keep the child locked in there. Point the arrows in the right directions. In case you forgot the combination, Grandmother Delaney will remind you. Like, oh, okay. So now, I can't move them now because I already beat this, but you have 4 arrows here, and they go in one of 4 directions: up, right, down, or left. So essentially what you have is a 4-digit code with 4 potential digits for each one, if you think about it numerically. So what that means is, I forget what actual math would be, how many chances it would take you, but you could technically go through this and figure it out by trial and error, but it would take you a while. It's a little annoying, and we like to actually solve puzzles, you know? So you'll go down here eventually, so you can go in the store here, and you know, you'll see stuff like the save point here and the candle and things you've seen, and there's some stuff to throw you off. Like, you might look at this and be like, okay, it's a anatomy picture of a weird-looking creature with some circles on there. I wonder if that's related to those circles and the arrows. The devs said a number of times they throw out some things in this that make you wonder. So you'll eventually come down here, and I've done all this. I have the doors open and everything already for you, but these will be closed, and it will be dark, and there's 2 nurses walking around here that irritates you. So you pretty much have to waste them, too, like you did with that other part. So you'll go around here and find various things. You know, you'll look at the beds, and you'll go over here. Oh, man, I gotta go over here. Oh, there's another hospital bed again that she apparently can't climb over or crawl. Just take it and move it. They're not heavy. They're on wheels. Yes, they're on wheels. Just move it. At any rate, so you'll come into this room here, and I like this. I think it's cool. You got this weird face thing here, and you know, I was messing around the other day, just looking around the game to see if there's any secrets and stuff, and I discovered by accident that if you aim, you can't kill this thing, but if you use a gun on it or your melee weapon, then it moves its hands. I didn't even know this was here till I was messing around with the game. But the main clue to solving this puzzle, after you go, look around here, you'll eventually come to this wheelchair here. And if you go to this, you'll see on the wheelchair there's this little esoteric, weird poem on here. My dear prince, my only child, why have you left me? Your poor mother to die alone in this wretched world. It's time to live up to the expectations and never let me down again. Because you will know I was right when your own child will break your heart. Ooh. Okay, so obviously that has to be some sort of clue there. Now, I'll go back to him in a bit. Let's get my melee out there. So, let's see. So, you'll read through, you'll be like, okay, arrows go in one of 4 directions, right? Let me look here. There it is. My dear prince, my only child, why have you left? Oh, left arm. What's my left? To you, it's like, looks like you're right. Left. Why have you left me? your poor mother to die alone in this wretched world. Okay, no direction given there, though. It's time to live up the expectations. Never let me down again. Oh, okay, down. And then, because you will know I was right. Okay, so it must be left, some direction. Down, and then right. Left, one of the directions. Down and right. Oh, okay. Well, that's obvious then. Okay. Left, one of the directions. Down and right. So it essentially solves 4 of the potential patterns, and then you just have to rotate the one. But I just noticed if you slam this guy, let's see it again. Then it actually shows you the pattern right there. Let me just do it with the gun so you can see it easier. Left, up, down, right. That's what it is. So if you go back to this, you'll see that you can't glean up out of your poor mother to die alone in this wretched world. There's nothing there that suggests up, so they leave that one for you to figure out. But that's cool. I didn't even realize that until I hit it, that reveals actually the password, the passcode for you, so that when you go back up here, all you have to do is rotate the dials to be left, up, down, and right. Now, just by the way they're set up, the second one will already be an up, so if you were to manipulate the first, third, and fourth one, it would just do it anyway. So up is already there for you, but that's all it is. So that unlocks that. You'll go down there, and it's cool. You have to go and find these eyeballs to open this door that's down here, that's below me, that is not accessible yet after you get rid of the tentacles that are on it. So then you go in there and save the kid. So this is the second to last puzzle in the game. There is one more to consider. It seems hard, but it's really not. The only thing that made it a little difficult is I thought that the piano had something to do with it, and I'll show you why. So let's get to the final puzzle of the game, in its current build at least, which will give you access to the final boss, actually. All right, let's do it. Okay, here we are for the final puzzle in the game, and the one that gives you access to the final boss before you beat it. This is it. So, again, this game, I really enjoyed this game. One of the things I can say about it, you see it here for sure, is this game probably has the best layout of any video game I've ever played. I know they're still working on some things, and they're going to add some stuff in the future. At least that's what they're saying. I hope they do. I really enjoyed it. The layout of this entire Eldervale map is just so well thought out. You got again, we go back to the inventory here. The maps. You've got the different levels here: B1, 1F, where you start, 2F. I mean, there are those 3 main levels, and then the 4th level, which is 3F. It doesn't have a map, as far as I know. I always play my games thoroughly, usually before I review them. So I went through everything in this game. As far as I know, I didn't miss that. But in this game, they just have it so well laid out. Everything is thought out perfectly. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any better. And a great example of that is part of what confused me about this puzzle. So you kind of level through. There's no maps. I can't show you where you are. But you'll eventually come to this red room here that requires you to open the door with a key. You'll get the key when you piece together a doll that is part of Ophelia's life story there. And there's a door on the other side here that accesses the key. You'll go around to get this, and then you'll eventually have the key that just makes it easier. So if you go through this door here, there's this creepy beast wandering around. Oh gosh! Oh no, it's coming for me! Oh, here it comes! Oh god. Ah! Get out of there! Oh, it swung at me. Ooh, just made it. So they have a tree machine here because you're going to have to stock up for the final boss. And you can go back to this door. So you'll see where it is clearly. It's kind of like this chapel-like room. And it's a cool setup in here. So you got this door. You'll come over here. You're like, okay, door locked from the other side. So thankfully, at this point in the game, there's only one save before this. You can use saves, and you can go anywhere and save the game, technically. But I've saved it right before the last boss. So I can do it again as if it was fresh. So, ooh, creepy dead body there. Holding some sort of doll thing. Ugh. Alright, so this door here has symbols on it you've seen earlier in the game, right? Wait, we saw these with the piano! Oh! So, one of the first things that struck me is I was like, oh, I wonder if this guy is trying to make you think it has something to do with these patterns on the wall here, when in actuality, the code is something to do with the piano. And the reason I say that is when you go to the keypad here, so, stuff there, and then you go, I'll show you what that is in a bit. So it's like, oh, okay, I gotta click on these, so, it's another four button solution. So let me show you what I mean here about the layout of this game. So you come back in this red room here, and then down here to the right, right when you come in the door, but left when I came out of that door, you go down here, and you're back in this piano room area. So if you go back to this, right, when you look at the keys and the solution there, you see, oh, circle, house, black X, hollow, or whatever you want to call that X. Ooh. So maybe that is the solution. So again, see how well this is laid out. You just come right up here, and you're back to where you were here. I mean, seriously, this game is laid out perfectly. Perfectly. It would have been really annoying if I had to run the whole way around to find that piano room again, when luckily it's right below me. Alright, so it must be that, right? Circle, house, and then, let's see, circle, house, close X, open X. Well, that didn't work. So I don't like that. I'm sure that's intentional, so that you think, maybe it has something to do with that too. And especially since, you know, I was familiar with how to play a piano, and I was wondering why there were those symbols on the speakers. It became very clear here, again, to me, that those symbols are on those speakers to make it obvious, when you think about it, to the person who doesn't know how to read notation or read sheet music, what the solution is. So that actually has nothing to do with it. So you're going to see throughout the room that there are these different words on the wall and then symbols. The circle is divided in the middle by hostility, conflict. Ooh, okay. Let's see, sovereignty. Sovereignty, the right and freedom to govern body and mind. So each of these has some esoteric thing written there. Weird symbolism relates to the mythology of this game. You go here, you say, okay, so each of these represents one of the symbols on the wall. So how many do I need to click on to figure it out? Let's see. It all began when you were born, fragile and clueless about the world, a house marked by shadow, waiting for you to control. The future faces the past, clinging to it desperately. To fulfill your purpose, you must become our queen. To those who enter the 4 marks, obviously we only need 4 to open the door, in pursuit of the greatest intuition, will the path open to the assumption of power, otherwise known as the last boss. Okay, so let's see. When you were born, okay, born, house marked by shadow, future faces the past, become queen. Okay, let's see. So I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll just show you the solution here and I remind myself where they are. So when I was born, let's see here. You got time over there, balance, and let's look around here. 2 sides living in harmony, equality, okay, virtue, sin, creation, alright, birth, genesis, or invention, looks like a seed or an ovum. Alright, so we go back to the keypad, we're like, alright, well that's got to be the closed circle, not the, actually that's what I clicked on the first time. So when I first clicked on this, I was like, oh, it must be what corresponds to on the, piano, but I actually pushed the wrong one, so I don't know what's going to happen here. If I were to click, you can't actually click that one. I'm trying to get in just in case that you can. That one doesn't actually click. Maybe they're going to do something with that later, and that piano code will actually be used again for something if they have more stuff. But anyway, obviously, creation, birth, that's the first one there, closed circle. Back to this. Future faces the past. Okay, let's see, conflict. Oh, wait, if you remember, I saw one that said time on it. There it is. So let's see, 2 triangles, future and past. Obviously, the 2 triangles are the second button I need to press. Okay, 2 triangles right there. So closed circle, 2 triangles. All right, what else you got here? Okay, all right. Oh wait, sorry, the second one. Sorry, that was the third one. The second one, house marked by shadow. Okay, what's the house marked by shadow? Well, there's only one house here. But let's look just in case. Is that the one I'm looking for? We got that. We got that. We got family. Okay. A house symbol. It's part of the Delaney family insignia. That's your last name. Because of the whole mythology and story here, you assume that the dark house must be your own. So that's the second one. So sorry, I was a little off it. So closed circle, house, and then the time one, the 2 triangles, and then fulfill our purpose, you must become the queen. So what is the final one to press here? Let's see. Become the queen. Sin. It doesn't sound queen-like. Queen sin. Could be, but that's not the answer. Let's see here. Sovereignty. Sovereignty. The right, the freedom to govern the body. Okay. So that's obviously the last one is the open circle one. So we go closed circle, house, triangles, boom, door opens, and that's it. Now, this is the final puzzle in the game, so I hope this helps you if you need help with any of the puzzles and didn't want to waste going through an entire walkthrough, so you clicked on the little table of contents below in this video and stuff. But since I'm here, let me just show you briefly what the last boss is like. It's kind of cool. I actually, oh, okay, awesome. I restarted, so I forgot. Alright, so she'll appear. Oh, this is a really cool moment where it's like really bright, and you're like, what the heck? I can't see! Oh, something's throwing stuff at me. So, this weird, mutated twin sister freak thing here comes around and shoots stuff at you. You gotta blast away at her. She disappears. Then she'll appear, throw things at you, and then let's see if she'll do it. And then eventually she brings up this weird smog stuff you have to avoid because you'll choke on it. Can I shoot it? Oh, no. So this sort of encloses you here. And then it goes away, she comes back. And you'll see that the game will leave ammunition around here for you, so don't think that you have to sit there and waste all your time collecting ammunition before you face her, because you'll get more as you go around here. Can't shoot her when she does that. It's a pretty easy boss, honestly, so I'm just going to stop it now. It's honestly quite an easy boss. You just have to shoot at her, and you can hit her too if you want. You just have to shoot at her until she's eventually dead, and she keeps dropping ammunition, so it's quite simple. So after that, you'll complete the game, get all some other unlocks. You know, there are various unlocks you can get. There's one I still need to get because I forgot to do it. So overall, I really like this game. The puzzles were just one component of it, though, and there weren't that many of them in total. But it was an enjoyable, fun game. I would really like to see them add some more stuff to it. The ending is kind of abrupt, and it felt like it could have had more. The final boss is quite easy, actually. After everything you go through, I was like, man, she is easier than some of those other things I faced. I swear to God. So great game for first-person horror. I definitely recommend it. So hopefully this puzzle video helped you out. In the future, you know, when I do another one of these, it's going to be, again, like this tips and tactics type video. Videos where I feel like it's somehow pertinent to explain something, puzzles or game tactics for games, you know, collecting points like I did with Apparition, or check out that video or whatever. So, alright, that's it for Deaf Sparrow today. I will see you again whenever I decide to make another one of these, probably like 6 months from now. See you later.